In this video, I'll discuss why your brain cannot focus on one thing and why you cannot get rid of doom scrolling, which is a very common problem for all the people, especially the young generation. So if you want to improve your focus and get rid of doom scrolling forever, you need to watch this video. And in the end, I will give you a bonus tip that can change your life entirely. In fact, it will make it more easier for you to quit doom scrolling and focus on the most important tasks. So let's dive in. So first of all, we will discuss that why your brain runs on dopamine. So we are designed like this. We as human are actually live our entire life based on impressions and words, and impression and words are extremely crucial for us because technically, if we see human history, all of them, the people who lived their life and are no more exist, are actually consume only two things: words, which is basically the combination of different impressions, right? So words also have impressions, and then of course the visual impressions, which is basically the visual reality. So what is your visual reality? Your country, right? Your environment, your culture, the people that you know, right? The people that you interact with. You know, this is your visual reality, and you cannot escape that. But the problem is doom scrolling, or in other words, consuming content on TikTok or Instagram actually disconnect you from your reality, which is your visual reality. And that's why it's very interesting. And that's why, your brain basically gets high dopamine spikes when you see something that you cannot have, or in other words, something that is out of your reach. And it's basically pure based on pleasure and interest. And it basically messed up your dopamine receptors. So basically, you are detached from your own reality, and you go and watch something that is completely irrelevant and completely out of your reach. So why people are actually have this type of doom scrolling addiction? Because our brain is wired to respond to certain things that are related to our dopamine. So your brain runs on. So your brain is basically runs on dopamine, right? Whenever you doom scroll, or whenever you consume this short form content, it basically gives you your brain dopamine spikes, which are designed to give you pleasure, right? A very short form of pleasure that you get, and you scroll again and scroll again. And of course, it's a good way to waste time. But the problem is, when you're running a business, time is the most important thing, and you cannot waste time. You cannot even afford to waste time. And of course, majority of my audience is basically in the business space. So I personally recommend that you should give up on this, right? It's a bad habit. Your brain adopts to whatever you repeatedly do. And it is actually a science-based fact. The things that you do in a repetitive manner actually becomes easier for you to do, and your brain is basically designed to do easy things, right? When things get gets easier for you, you like to do it again and again. And especially when it comes to doom scrolling, uh, it actually stimulates your dopamine receptors. And when it does that, by the way, very effectively. And your brain actually adopts it very quickly. And it actually forces you to do this again and again, right? Because first of all, it is not it doesn't challenge your intelligence. It doesn't put your brain to work. It basically just give him instant pleasure, right? Just like a drug, right? So doom scrolling actually destroy your focus, which is one of the most important thing that you need to improve your life, to get your shit together, and achieve your goals. So when you have messed up focus, you are actually signing up for nightmare, because it can destroy your life. Like I said before, that we as human are only consumer of impressions and words. Why we like our parents? Because they give us the best impressions, right? Because they love us, right? So, and why we hate our haters? Because they give us the bad impressions, right? Talk shit about us, right? Hate us, right? Give us bad words, right? So you need to understand this. That's why these all companies, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, are extremely popular, because they have the ability to hijack your brain. They have the content that can make you addicted, and that can destroy your focus, but at the same time give you instant gratification, instant pleasure, and it can destroy your life, right? If you're super serious, if you're super addicted, if you have very very intense addiction, then of course it can destroy your life, right? So, and nobody wants that, right? So the focus is very, very crucial, right? Once you lose the focus, you lose everything, right? And doom scrolling actually not only destroy your focus, it's actually consume a lot of your prime and energy, right? That can be used in more productive things, right? So the more dopamine spikes you get from scrolling, the less sensitive your brain becomes, right? So let me repeat this again for you. The more dopamine spikes you get from scrolling, the less sensitive your brain becomes. Because so when you consume the content that you like, which is basically, if I'm not wrong, majority of them would be, if you're a girl, it would be scenery. It would be content related to emotions, romance, or it could be content related to home decoration, or fashion, or woman empowerment, or anything that basically triggers the strong female emotions, right? So you consume that content, right? And if you're a male, then you consume content related to, let's say that if you're a boy or male, you are into sports, right? So the content would be related to sports, related to politics, fights, and related to racing, and related to rage bait, and related to entrepreneurship, Lamborghinis, changing your life with trading and stuff like this, right? So, and I will talk about this later because it's called productive illusion. So the moment you raise the bar so high, your brain become numb, totally numb to certain certain things. For example, let's say that you consume a lot of content and doom scroll, right? So now you have raised the bar so high for your brain to get dopamine spikes, to the point where the real world become very unattractive. So to the real world. So in more simple words, when you consume this type of content, you are disconnected from reality. And when you are disconnected from reality, the real world cannot provide you this type of dopamine spikes, right? So you become completely detached and less interested in real world, and it is very dangerous, right? You cannot ignore your real life, right? You cannot close your eyes and say that I'm living in the metaverse, which was, I think, one of the biggest stupidity in the internet history that I have seen with my own eyes. The people buying digital land, buying the stupid apes, right? And they thought that and of course the metaverse is one of the big. I mean, I don't want to insult Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, of course that he has a lot of money, so of course that gives him an edge over me. But you need to understand one thing: just because you have money, that doesn't mean that you are intelligent enough. Right? This is not the intelligence cannot be judged by the money in the bank. Of course, that the majority of the people right now judge people because of the how much money they have, but that's not true, right? There's a lot of philosophers, there's a lot of scientists, engineers. They contribute a lot in the modern world and modern civilization. Nobody knows them, but they really did that. And not necessarily they are successful when it comes to money. But anyway, so the metaverse example is quite is a very common, and I think that you will understand this better. So what is metaverse, right? You wear the glasses and you're in different world. Same with the doom scrolling, right? You don't have to wear the glasses, but you still have access to the different world that is not nowhere near to your reality, and it basically keeps you in this digital world, right? It's basically keeps you engaged in the fake digital world, and then you are not able to get rid of it. And when you're not able to get rid of it, which means that you will not be able to change your real world, right? Because your real world is miserable, especially when you don't have money. Your real world is miserable. So you need to focus on the real world. You need to focus on the real problems, right? Rather than just lay back, relax, and doom scroll for 2 hours or 3 hours, wasting your time. Why not you build a funnel, or why not you build an offer, or why not you even start a business, right? In the first place, rather than just watching people succeeding and actually getting dopamine spikes from other people, right? So it gives you productivity illusion, right? So you live in this illusion that you're doing something productive. Let's say that watching Gary Vee or any kind of motivational content, and you think that it's actually helping you out, and but actually it's not. You're living in productive illusion. Watching Alex Ramos's videos, all this philosophical content, and you think that that can help you in business. First of all, you have to you need to have a business, right? Then you go to listen. And of course, I'm not hating on Alex Ramosi and Gary Vee and all the motivational speakers and so-called business gurus. But business is all about technical things, right? And watching this short form content, which is maybe even the long-term content, which is basically related to business, and you think that, okay, that you are helping yourself. So basically you're thinking that it is helping you because you're consuming that productive content, which is, let's say, the good content related to entrepreneurship, mindset, and or something, let's say, that related to how to start a business, and you're tapping on YouTube, how to scale your business and start a business. But all the knowledge you are consuming is basically, all the content that you're consuming is just philosophical BS, right? Right. Business is more technical, right? Right. And I'm not hating on all the people that are in my space, entrepreneurs, marketers. They are just giving you base level information. They are creating productive illusion, right? Let's say that you're doom scrolling, you're watching content or podcast related content. I think it's one of the biggest productive illusion is the podcast content, right? You get the facts, and you think that it makes you more intellectual and it helps you to gather some information. But you need to understand, journal knowledge is pointless. In the modern world, it's pointless. I can literally go to ChatGPT, and within seconds I can get the entire idea of how Roman Empire actually dominated by the outsiders, right? And who did that and why did that. I can do that. It's a journal knowledge, right? Journal knowledge is not going to get you anywhere, right? So it gives you, the doom scrolling is actually giving you a productive illusion, right? That you're consuming something that is useful, and of course it's making you happy, like, right? So for example, let's say that you are broke and you want to make 10 grand, right? And you go watch Gary Vee video, right? He's not going to tell you anything about business. He's just going to tell you all this philosophical BS. Change your mindset, you will be successful. Mindset alone is not going to do anything to help anyone, right? So you need to get rid of this productive illusion if you're doom scrolling, and you need to feel guilty, right? Because it's destroying your life. So why this is killing your growth? So why this is now, when you are actually have doom scrolling addiction, you actually have addiction of instant gratification, and then rapid switching, and of course then have shallow thinking. And when it comes to business, you want to run a business, you need to get rid of instant gratification, because there is no instant gratification in business, right? Business is a long-term game, and there is no rapid switching. You cannot switch from one thing to another quickly, right? Which is basically, when you scroll, you can easily do that, right? But you don't have that freedom in business, right? So if you're running a business, the same things happen to business, right? You need patience, right? Patience is business. So, and then you need to get rid of shallow thinking, which is like, of course, weak thinking. A lot of emotional people have weak thinking. And if you have shallow thinking in business, God bless you, right? It will destroy your life. It will actually not only destroy your business, it will destroy your personality too. With shallow thinking, it's a recipe for disaster, right? And of course, in your personal life also, when you have shallow thinking, you don't know what to do, and you kind of procrastinate and sleep on important things. It's a total waste of energy, right? So you need to get rid of doom scrolling. It's a very, very dangerous. It's a very, very dangerous habit that can destroy your life. And of course, when you doom scroll, it affects your identity also, because you become a consumer, not a doer, right? So it basically makes you a totally harmless person. And harmless person is not good for society. It's good for nothing, right? So when you're good for nothing, you're not that important anymore to the world. So it definitely, doom scrolling affects your personality. Uh, so so how to take back control? This is what I was actually, now I think now I have covered almost everything, that how these tech giants actually trap your attention. So how you can get back your control uh, from them? It's like stealing your lost attention from them to and get that attention and use it in more productive things that can change your life and give you real results. So first thing you need to do is that you need to reduce randomness, limit scrolling sessions, and it's very easy. I'm not going to do this stupid tutorial thing. You can do it yourself, right? If you can doom scroll, you can do it yourself. Where you can, in Instagram and TikTok, there is there are settings where your system actually switched off, where your app switched off automatically after 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 1 minute. So I recommend that you can do it for at least 1 minute, right? 1 or maybe 1 or 2 minutes. And then, of course, increase friction. It is better to remove apps from your home screen, right? It helps a lot. So what it basically does, when you remove those apps from your home screen, there is no longer easy access, right? And when you don't have easy access, which means that your brain need to have more energy to find those apps. And this is where your brain actually stops you, right? Because definitely brain is also a lazy machine, right? And it actually avoid effort, or basically it is designed to keep you away from difficult things. When it would be difficult to find out those apps, it basically increase friction, right? So then you can delay that gratification. Then it will help you to delay instant gratification at the same time. So, and then of course, rebuild focus, right? So you need to engage yourself into something that is productive. And of course, that is especially from business point of view. Let's say that you wanted to make money, right? Then you need to focus on, the first priority should be customer acquisition system, right? Especially, or if you are a beginner, then of course you need to select a niche, and then you need to gather information, and then you need to find people that are interested in your product and service, right? So when you're a beginner, you need a lot of focus and a lot of time, and especially when it comes to business, right? So if you already have a business, then you need to first focus on what can you do to improve your profit margins and improve your service, your product, right? So the next is delay your dopamine, or in simple words, delay the pleasure. Do the hard tasks before entertainment. And it is very, very simple hack that you can do. You can do to actually get the best input from your prime energy. So don't waste your prime energy in doom scrolling, right? Rather than, you can use that energy to do what matters to you the most, right? So it's a simple hack, right? So do the hardest things first in your day, and use that prime energy for the most productive things. And after that, when you have drained your energy, then you can doom scroll. Then you can just jump on the bed, pick your phone, and doom scroll for 2 to 3 minutes, or even more, because you have already done what needs to be done, right? So then, of course, you will not feel guilty, right? So you will not feel any kind of guilt, because you need to understand that we as human actually have common common sense, and everyone has common sense, right? So whenever you doom scroll a lot, right? Let's say that 3 hours, 4 hours every day, you literally wiped out 5 or 6 hours of your life, the very important hours of your life that can be used to improve your lifestyle, improve your relationships, improve your financial condition, your physical health, a lot of other things. But when you does that, your common sense kicks in, right? The moment you're on the bed, you realized that, all right, so I wasted my day, and now I have guilt, and you sleep with that guilt, right? So, and it's not good, right? It's actually increase your stress hormones, right? When you sleep with guilt. This is the simplest things that you can do, right? Jump on the hardest things first and do that, right? And after that, when you're totally drained and you have very low energy levels, then you can doom scroll, right? And because of course scrolling is not productive activity, it's just an entertainment, right? Or entertainment, right? So this is a simple hack that you can do to avoid doom scrolling. So what is the real benefit here for this practice? So right now, attention is rare, focus is rare, and discipline is extremely rare. So if you can train your brain to sit longer, think deeper, and work without distraction, you have more leverage, right, over a lot of people, right? Because there are a lot of people who know the systems, know the methodologies, they actually watch all the YouTube content, productive content, and even the technical content, tutorial-based content, but they don't really do anything, right? They just watch things, and they don't take any productive action. And when you have this type of habit, which is basically not to doom scroll and do the hardest things first, in other words, things that appear boring to you, right? When you have this type of habit, you have more, you actually differentiate yourself from those people, right? And this is what it takes to be successful in life and in business also, right? So this is the most important thing that you need to do, right? Completely, I recommend, like, I'm an extreme person when it comes to discipline. So I recommend that if you are doom scrolling a lot and it's actually killing your productive hours, you should delete those apps, right? Or in other words, hide them in somewhere where it would be difficult for you to find them, right? So when you are doom scrolling, there is no outcome, right? It's just a pure pleasure, and pure pleasure is not going to get you anywhere, right? Lot of kingdoms actually have been destroyed because they focused on the pure pleasure, right? And pleasure is your enemy, right? So doom scrolling sure give you the short-term unproductive pleasure, but you need to get rid of it, right? So if you like this video, you need to hit the subscribe button, and you need to join the community, and the link is in the description. And I will see you in another video.